This is an R Media podcast.
I've never had such a daunting experience. I've never been more intimidated in my life. Walking up to the trestle tables with the CWA and the volunteers there, all these beautiful, mature ladies. They look like the quintessential sort of country baker types, dressed impeccably, and I was shaking. Like this 6'2", hairy, 100-kilo plus guy, and they just were looking at me, and it was like, they went, cake? And I was like, oh.
Welcome to The Edit, where we bring you into beautiful homes with the people who create them. Today, we're heading inside the home of the hairstylist behind names like Eva Mendes, Tyra Banks and G-Flip. Richi Grisillo is also my hairdresser. But when he's not in a salon, he's baking up a storm and competing against the CWA at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. From international fashion week shows and Eurovision to going on tour with incredible musicians, Richi lives a fast-paced and glamorous life. I suspect this is why one of his greatest dreams is to one day live a calmer life hosting family and friends in a modern farmhouse in the country. Here's Richi on navigating a creative career, his love of flowers, and why you should never trust people who don't serve dessert. Richi, my dear, dear friend,
Hello.
Welcome to The Edit.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It is so much fun having you here today. It feels a little surreal, actually, because we are great friends, but we first met when I came to you to have my hair done.
Yeah.
You are also my hairstylist.
The universe sent you my way, and it's been a lovely relationship since.
I know. And it's funny because I think when I first came to your salon, which was Academy Salon in Annandale, I wasn't living there, but then I ended up buying a house right nearby. So
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just figured you were a local.
Not at that point. I thought I need to move here to be
Right.
closer to Richi.
I think a lot of people want to be close to their hairdresser, right? They're people, dentist, hairdresser, doctor.
Exactly. We were just talking about that before, actually, how I said, oh, I wish you were here every day. And do people always say that to you?
Always, every day of my life. I think it's a luxury that people, really, I don't want to lift my hands for half an hour to make my hair look good. So I can only imagine what other people are doing, and then you're stuck in your bathroom at home and it gets hot and blah, blah, blah. So the luxury of having someone do it for you, not making a mess, I would want that in my house too. That or a private chef.
I was just going to say, what if you could have any team member to do your everyday things, what would it be?
Definitely private
Private
chef.
chef.
Yeah, I want to come home to a home-cooked meal, not have to think about it. I think it's like our most asked question in our household is what's for dinner? From pretty much 9 a.m. till 6 p.m, we're just trying to figure out what are we going to have for dinner. So
I know. What do you usually end up with?
it really depends. Usually it's a what do I feel like, not what should I have. So we all know what that means. But
We talk about food a lot.
a lot. Yeah.
And we both make food a lot. I remember I came in one day and you had made limoncello.
Yes. Yes.
And my gosh, that was powerful. It was so delicious. Where did your love of food come from?
Growing up in a half Italian, half Anglo sort of household,
Yeah.
I kind of had this real mix of influence when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I think the love language of Italy is food, whether it's cooking for people. I think it's a way of care. Like it shows a lot of care, and I think that kind of was something that instilled in me. It was actually a career path I was going to go down until I worked in a commercial kitchen for a couple of weeks with work experience. And I just remember thinking to myself, this will kill my love for food. Full respect to anyone that is in a commercial kitchen, but for me, it was different. Like I think to be on repeat, making the same thing every day and having to master something, like I still want to master things, but not have the pressure of commercialized. I think that's like a lot of things. People love to paint, but they don't necessarily want to make it into a career or things like that. So I think I was lucky, but I still bake as often as I can. Baking's my go-to therapy because you get to cook and then you get to eat after. And I have a massive sweet tooth. So, yeah.
And you have a baking story that I just think is brilliant, and I would love for you to retell it so that everybody can hear. And you know what I'm talking about. You embraced a new experience this year.
Yes, my
What
summer
did you
sport.
do? What was your summer sport?
A few years ago, actually, I was having a conversation with a client, good old Deirdre. Hi, Deirdre. She was just, we were talking about, I think we were going to the Easter show, and she said, oh, you know, I've won ribbons at the Easter show before. And I was like, shut up, like, tell me more. And I think when I was growing up, it was something that I was always fascinated by in the arts and crafts section and stuff. And
I love
obviously,
that part.
it kind of became an extension of what I love, which is baking, and it became this hobby. It became this really organic hobby that started a little bit obsessive, because it was almost like weekly practicing chocolate cake to make sure it was as close as possible and things like that. And it just became a really wholesome. I found a lot of joy in it, which I think I'm so career focused all the time. It was so nice to have a purpose with the baking and almost like researching different recipes and things like that. And it became, even at the show on the judging day, the tradition, and it's so wholesome, and you see how many people are so involved and passionate about it, like full respect to the CWA, to everyone, the agricultural society that put it together. Like, I think it's such a wonderful thing, and to participate for the first time, it was really eye-opening, because you got to see it from a different point of view, not just there and seeing a crowd and, you know, the dog show and things like that. To participate was really nice.
What did you enter in?
Okay.
And talk us through, what was it like on the day, the lead up and on the day?
So the first thing I'm going to enter chocolate cake, which unfortunately at the time when I signed up, I didn't realize it's the most entered category across the whole thing. Yeah, like I'll show you a photo later, but there was like 60 chocolate cakes on the table. Like, they had all the categories lined up, and then you had chocolate cake, which was colossal. Luckily, mine wasn't the ugliest, and mine obviously tasted great, duh. But from there, I thought, you know what, if I'm going to do this, let's find things that have an ease to them to kind of ease myself into the process, but also set a bit of a challenge and things I enjoy. So I ended up entering, I like to think I'm a master lemon curd maker, strawberry jam and fig jam. So they were my three preserves that I entered, which goes off 2 weeks before the show. And then the stressful one was the chocolate cake. So
oh my gosh. So you show up on, is it on the day or the day before? When do you bring?
The night before, you bake your cake, or the morning of, and you whisk it off to the show. And I've never had such a daunting experience. I've never been more intimidated in my life, walking up to the trestle tables with the CWA and the volunteers there, all these beautiful mature ladies. They look like the quintessential sort of country baker types, dressed impeccably. You can see how much respect they have for the categories and the show and things like that. And I was shaking. Like this 6'2", hairy, 100 kilo plus guy. And they just were looking at me, and it was like, they went, cake? And I was like, oh, put it down and got out my slip and that. And I was just like this bumbling mess. So I had to go for a walk and go look at the livestock and then go back for the judging in the afternoon. So, yeah.
You are, don't get embarrassed, but you are
I'm already blushing. So we know where this is going.
You are a young, sophisticated, international, award-winning professional. It's such a contrast to what people would expect to see as an entrant in the Royal Easter Show. Did you see many other young people there?
It was a really vast demographic of people. There was actually quite a few like dads.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like the kids section, the under 13s.
Yeah.
So there was a youth factor to it, which there was quite a volume of entries. It was actually quite spectacular, and to see the quality of what they're making it, you know, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the traditional, like the people that have been entering it for quite a while, and then you could see the people that it's sport for them.
Yeah.
Like, I always remember when I was playing baseball growing up, there'd be like those few parents that were so involved that they're there like, is your father a glassmaker? Sit down. Like, because they can't say, like, it was a bit like that. Like, and it was like, whoa, okay, we'll avoid that corner of the people watching. But the crowd was massive. I don't know if it was a record year for them, but there was a lot of entries. Yeah, so I think there was a big demographic of people.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Did anything about it surprise you?
I think definitely the number of entries. I was expecting there to be quite, I think because of, I call it like MasterChef syndrome, how I think kitchen has become such a big part of people's lives because there was entertainment. For how long has that been on? Like 20 years or something like that. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of created a generation of people that are very kitchen conscious.
Yes.
Whether it be very basic skill or advanced, or you have people with smokers and their blast freezers and stuff. But it's almost like
Exactly.
you're not quite sure what to expect. But yeah, it was good. I sat somewhere in the middle of competitive and like casual, but also in age
You are
bracket.
competitive.
I was sort of in this weird sort of midlife kind of like, oh, okay. So yeah.
Speaking of kitchen, we talk about the dream house a lot. What is your dream
The dream.
in terms of home? Because it's not city, is it? Or is it?
I think because I grew up in like an hour south of Sydney city, like I'm used to being around a lot of greenery, water, things like that. So when I am in that environment, I definitely am at peace. Like it's very peaceful for myself. But I do love coming back to the city. Like obviously I work in Surrey Hills, so there's a pulse and like every day I'm commuting back and forth. So I kind of can see that I would want an element of both. But the dream property when it's like time to like not worry about the hustle and bustle would definitely be like, I'll call it like can we call it like a modern farmhouse where it's not necessarily acres of land, but it's enough that you can have your kitchen garden, your chickens and, you know, the beautiful view from your kitchen and you're there making a little herby omelette out of everything that you've grown and like you've done yourself. Like I think there's something about reconnecting with that I can see that being like maybe that last quarter of life.
Yeah.
But I think definitely have that convenience of both and maybe like a little apartment or something in the city. And commute back and forth, but
because you do have an intense life.
We could call it that schedule. Let's call it an intense schedule.
An intense schedule.
Yeah,
because you run your own business, and when I met you, you were running a salon. How old were you when you opened that?
I was 38. I was 10 years old, so 28. Yeah, 28.
That's really young.
Is it?
I think so, yeah, to open, because
it's definitely
big professional
a big
business.
Yeah, definitely a big commitment. I mean, to think back and I had like, you know, like as a marker, like your 30th birthday, 2 years into owning a business, I just remember how stressful it was because it's in its infancy. I think I've explained sometimes to you where it's like, I feel like a business is almost like a child.
Yeah.
Where you kind of give birth to this thing and then it gets to 3 or 4 years old and it's finally going off to daycare or school. Like it's kind of, you've got a little bit of time to kind of just roll with it. But those first few years is hard. You're on call. You're, like a better term, breastfeeding. You're wiping as well. You're like, you know, you're looking after this new thing. And then it gets to a point where, you know, they get 6, 7, 8 years old and they're kind of like, all right, they're able to get on the bus to go to school. Yeah. Things like that. Like there's a bit more autonomy to the business where it's sort of, obviously I'm lucky that my business partner and partner kind of handled more the management side where at the end of the day I was still the doer, like doing hair and I don't know how people would do both.
No, exactly.
It's a huge commitment business. I don't know how small business owners do it. Like obviously we had a great 10 years in the business. It was still successful. Yeah. We're at a point in our lives where it wasn't serving us anymore and there were various factors that kind of caused us to make the decision that it's better if we leave it, like instead of just trying to keep
it going.
Where I think it's okay sometimes to walk away from things like that. Yeah. It's not defeat. I think a lot of people might feel that it's defeat or it's failure, but I actually think it was probably one of the smartest, most mature things we've ever done in our life was to actually realize it's time.
Absolutely.
You know, we're changing the way people look. Like at the end of the day, like, you know, how many people would let someone on the train come up to them and touch their hair? It's assault. So, you know, we charge. We just charge for it. No. So, and, you know, skill aside, like there's a lot of talented people out there, but they're also assholes. So it's hard because you think, well, you want to go to someone who's good, but they're also a good human. And it's the same thing in business. You want good humans. So, yeah.
So you closed the salon, but now you operate. I love how you've continued the name Academy Privé.
Yes.
And it is very private.
Yes. So within our industry, I think it's kind of changed to have these smaller spaces where it's not like running a classic salon sort of setup where it can be you and one other operator in a smaller space. I like to think it still feels quite luxe. It's a beautiful building in Surrey Hills. Yeah. It's been fitted out so beautifully and I just get to really focus on my craft. Yeah. Obviously, it's still a business, so there's still taxes, accounts, super, all that stuff. Where there is still a side to it, but it's still stressful, but it's just a different type of stress. Yeah. Where I think anyone, how stressful is tax time for anyone when they think, have I done everything right? Like, and even though it's, so straightforward, but you kind of think, I get to switch off. There's time for me to be able to switch off now. And I think the carryover to bring it to Academy Privé, it was just nice to kind of still have a nod to the business because the business still exists. Yeah. It's just me now. So it's just a quiet, I can only upset myself. So I'm
going to say the people watching isn't as great.
Oh, but we've got the windows. And
you
do
have the windows. I remember walking in one day into Academy Salon and I saw a lady in the waiting area and then I went and sat down and I looked at you and I looked at her and I looked down. I thought, no, be cool, be cool. And then she left and I said, Ricky, was that Eva Mendes? And you were so discreet, you just gave a little nod and a smile and then on we went. You have got, now we're going to need to get a basket out to catch the names I'm going to drop here, but not just Eva Mendes, Tyra Banks, G-Flip. You work on Eurovision every year. Tell us about working with such big names and I wonder, are they big personalities? You were intimidated by the CWAs. How do you deal with these megastars?
I think it's something that I kind of switch off. Yeah. Like it's not that I'm acting, but I'm almost remembering that they're a human at the end of the day. Yeah, I grew up watching some of them on my TV and things like that. But I think when you meet them, it kind of like dissolves away the veneer of celebrity a little bit where I think I put myself in their shoes. It's the same thing with you though, like all my clients. Yeah. I want to be looked after. I want to, if I'm thirsty, to be offered a drink or something like it's at the end of the day, they are human. I have full respect for them, like getting to witness, like even I just went on tour with this singer and just to see fandom in peak, like I've never really been.
Who's the singer?
It's a beautiful, super talented beyond. Her name's Freya Sky. She was doing the second leg of a tour of her EP and she is beyond talented. Like, but just to see, obviously the demographic is much younger than myself and just to see how passionate and it was this wild experience, like 12 days on the road, flying from state to state in New Zealand and you just think, like how special for this person. She's 16, has the world at her fingertips and you think, that's when I guess hair and makeup area then becomes this, all right, let's read the room. Let's know, are we bringing the energy up? Are we keeping it there? Are we bringing it down? Like what can we do to just create a really nice environment because they're about to perform. Yes. And it was incredible. Like it was like all shows were sold out. It was like all venues were upgraded because of the demand.
Wow,
like
really?
Just it
That's
was
incredible.
But even to be a part of that, like how special. Like I'm never one to walk in and be like, I'm the celebrity. Like here, let's do your GHD curls. Like it's more of a like they're the star. My job is to make them look good. Like I think it's the same thing like with Fashion Week, when you're backstage at Fashion Week, even if you're not head of hair, it's not hair's show, it's a designer. So the pressure is on the director to make the designer look good. Yeah. So I think when you kind of realize that there's this, it's not about you, I think maybe that's one of the reasons why it's not, like knock on wood, I've been really lucky that I've dealt with really beautiful humans. Like I don't think I attract a chaotic energy. Yeah. So or maybe because of my energy, maybe it helps people calm. Where maybe if I was a bit more darling, like I feel like maybe they'd level up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think because I always want like calm, professional, still have a laugh. Like
Yeah.
I'm still going to, you know, bring joy to something, but it's not like I'm not the showstopper.
After the break, we get into why Ricky sees social media as a necessary evil. Another part of your job, I know, is education. You teach people. You are a global ambassador for Moroccanoil.
Yeah.
And what's that like, teaching perhaps emerging stylists, and how much of your experience do you share with them versus technical skills? What do they want from you?
It's funny because I entered the industry wanting to definitely be on the creative side of things. And I was so lucky with, I guess, my career starting with Tony and Guy. And obviously Tony and Guy is so well known for education. I kind of moved up the ranks at Tony and Guy and became educator, head of technical training for Australia. So it became like such a cornerstone of my career is teaching.
Yeah.
Does it fill my cup still? Not as much as it used to, because I think there's other things. Like I don't want to ever get stuck in a box.
No.
But when people have light bulb moments when you're teaching them and they get it, like there's something that just switches and you see it, it is the most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
I could only imagine being a mum when you see that kind of something clicks.
Yes.
And you just
it's
think,
amazing.
yeah, like you kind of think I'm imparting something into that next generation.
Yeah.
So you're building, I guess in this situation, a better hairdresser or a more knowledgeable hairdresser, where sometimes there's a block.
Yeah.
So to open that and they understand it better has been such a rewarding part of my career. Obviously still do that in different capacities, whether it's stage work, PR work. Still, like last year in Vegas, I taught 8 classes of 100 people.
Wow.
I think my work has pivoted from being so classic into something that I really want to impart creativity
Yes.
onto people.
Do you think that's missing?
I don't think it's missing. I think it's diluted or changed in a commercial aspect because of things like social media, where social media is a necessary evil in the world, if I'm completely honest.
We hate it, we love it.
It's our entertainment, it's our business cards, it's our portfolio of work to show people what we're capable of. And I think that's something that I've always wanted to do with mine, where it's not about day-to-day work as such. Like maybe on stories or something more temporary, I'll post something that I'm like, oh, I'm proud of that. I'm going to let the world know. Or if I've showcased a new product from Moroccanoil or something like that, I think there's space there for it. But on my actual, what do we call it? Like feed, the grid?
Yeah,
the grid.
the grid.
For me, it's more about the creative work I do to show people, I guess, what I'm capable of, things that I'm incredibly proud of. The occasional selfie. Not selfie, but like, I guess it's nice to see the person behind the craft sometimes.
Absolutely. You have to
And
put
I get
yourself
that
out
from
there.
everybody, so I have to. You know, it's one of those things where it's me working on set or, you know, just backstage at Eurovision or whatever it might be, just to be able to show there's a human behind the artist kind of thing. But I do think AI, I think it's such an interesting, fascinating thing, AI.
Yeah.
I do think I can see the good, I can see the bad, I can see the ugly, all that. But I was having this conversation with a makeup artist on set a month or two ago, and we're talking about AI and how it's going to, well, it's already started to replace some jobs for creatives.
Yeah.
But I also thought to myself, I think it's almost like things reverting back to when there was your top tier creatives doing work, where all the people that are kind of, they're good at what they do, but it's not inspired. It's not not heavily creative, but just something. Whenever you look at an AI image or a video, there is something missing.
Yes.
And I can't stress this enough to people, and it's soul.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, you know, when you look at an image and you just think there's something not quite there, even a lookbook or something, when you just know it's like, they weren't having fun that day. No one was inspired. It's the commerce side of things, where I think art needs commerce, commerce needs art, right? So it's a case of, well, we can compete with what AI can create. It's just, I guess, turnaround times, briefing people properly, letting creatives be creatives, and having a team there's a particular magazine that will remain nameless. But I feel like it's so
Will you whisper it to me
boring,
afterwards?
of course. I'll shout it to you if you want. But I feel like I ask everyone, even people that work in media, and I'm like, what is the last cover of that publication that you remember?
Oh.
And I feel like that is such a valuable thing to ask people, where if it's not memorable, then why are they doing it?
Yep.
Because we've got social media, we've got digital now to do the, the finger stopping,
Yes.
things like that, where you can do a commercial where I know I would be more likely to invest in a magazine, a coffee table book, whatever, if I feel inspired. Like it's worth, like there's intellectual property in that people have crafted. It's like a beautiful vase.
Yeah.
I kind of shy away from things that are mass produced. I want to see a thumbprint. I want to see a little imperfection. I want someone to create something or glaze it in a way that I'm like, it's not perfect, but that's what makes it so beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I think with my work, when I do work creatively, obviously I want there to be an element of perfection, but it's if you see like a individual fiber or a strand of hair and it's moving, and I feel like that's something AI doesn't do, where it's that moment, and you look at all the greats, you watch the documentaries from like the 80s, 90s, 70s, your Irving Penn, your people like that, you kind of think there's something about it, like film, people that used to shoot on film, how stressful, when now with digital, you see it on the screen.
It's
instant. It's a lot faster.
Absolutely.
So it's going around in circles sort of thing. I could talk about this for hours. But I do think there's an element of soul that's missing.
Yeah.
It's like when you walk into someone's home and I feel like it's so beautiful and pristine and perfect that you think, does anyone live here?
Yeah.
When it's like too perfect and you just think, why is there no like cat fur anywhere, or like, the pillow's too well positioned. It's like just kind of like you want it to look lived in, because I think that's the soul, right, of a home. When there is something, the bananas don't have to be fresh; they can have a couple spots. like it's not like we're seeking perfection all the time. So,
what's your home style?
My home style, I mean, I think because of things like schedule, I like to go home and be comfy.
Yeah.
Like I don't want it to be too perfect, but I want to, I want to sink into my lounge. I want to have woods and warmer sort of tones, and my essential when I do find dream home one day will be high ceilings, natural light. Yeah. That will be my prerequisite for almost every room, and a double gas burner, double oven, like, that kind of thing. But I want it to be livable. You want to live in it. Like, the library with lots of books, like just things from travels and stuff. Like I don't want it to feel too clinical. Yeah. I can respect the aesthetic of a real manicured home, but I think I really want it to have character and and a nice view.
What does Michaela think? Because you two business partners as well for such a long time. What's that like, taking work and then you live together as well? Do you agree on most things, or how do you fight things out?
I think in every relationship, it's picking your battles and learning how to manage the other one. No, look, Michele is great. He's got such an incredible style. He's the stylish one. I'm like a uniform wardrobe, black T-shirts, jeans, different kinds of jackets. Like I don't go, he's got this incredible sense of style. He was born in Italy. He's Italian. He's got that innate ability to just style things. Like if the jewelry he finds and things like that. He is such a brilliant person, like even in interiors, but he's a shopper. I can't stand shopping.
Really?
When I go out shopping, I'm there to get something and go. Where he'll browse. You know the people that just browse and they'll find and things find you, and it's like, oh, should I get it? It's like, well, did you need it? Like
never. You never need it. It's lust.
But he definitely has control over things, but if he asks my opinion, I'm very decisive and I will know instantly if I like it or not. Yeah. So maybe that's part of the thing. I'm not like questioning if I like something or not. It's like, no, I don't think it'll work in this space. But then again, like in saying that, like even like when people suggest new music to me or whatever, at first I probably won't like it. And then 6 months later, I'm like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah.
Like, blah, blah. So I think I'm like a slow burn on things.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at that. Like I think because I've slowed down as
Yeah.
well, like in life, I'm able to kind of absorb things differently to what I used to.
And what about, so you said you're a uniform kind of guy. I don't think I've ever seen you wear anything other than black. But
A black t-shirt and jeans, yeah.
But in your work, you are a colour specialist. That's one of your things.
Mm-hmm.
How does that translate into home? Is your home black or is that, or do you embrace colour there?
I think the uniformity of what I present myself as is a way for me to concentrate on other things I'm creating.
Yeah.
Because I'm not worried about what I'm wearing and
Yeah.
things like that. I wake up, have a shower,
Black,
out the door.
yeah.
Maybe it's the private school boy in me, like having a uniform every day. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like you can't kick the habit.
Yeah.
Where I think in the home, like I said, I want warmth and things like that, like flowers. Like I always make sure, I love having fresh flowers in the home.
What do you like?
You name it, I think they're beautiful. Look, I'm not the biggest gerbil person,
Yeah,
but I can find beauty in everything
Yeah.
because you could probably pair them with things. But at the moment, it's poppies because they're in season.
Yeah.
They're actually probably my like top flower.
They're so happy.
And just them evolving throughout the week,
Yes.
and they open and
Yeah.
the amazing colours and things like that. We've got some purple tulips at the moment that are opening this morning as well. So yeah, I feel like there's joy in that and it adds that warmth. And I'm not we've got artwork, but I'm not one to go and buy art, but I would definitely invest in like a statement vase or like a beautiful candle, like accessorize with things that have character to them that you can interchange. Because I think I get bored of things. So I think that's why I love flowers, because obviously they've got a longevity, but seasonally, whatever's available and is fresh, and you think, you know what? That looks so beautiful. I can see that in this vase in that corner of the house. That's definitely how I evolve my space and create my home. Yeah.
Well, let's go into home a little bit
Yeah.
more. We have a series of questions that I love to ask, and they were supposed to be quick fire, but actually they're more of a slow burn because I ask more questions. But you mention candles. What does your home smell like?
I think there's like a richness and a woodiness. We don't mind gourmand when it comes to things in the house. So stuff that has a little bit of like a vanilla undertone or something like that. We also enjoy weird things. There was a candle. It was called Sistine Chapel that has that kind of frankincense and it's something that just feels so. I guess there's also like a nostalgic element to things when it comes to smell.
Definitely.
Michele loves incense, so sometimes there's a little bit of incense and things like that. Just to again, it's sort of like adding an accessory to the home is the way it smells.
Definitely.
So,
What does your home sound like?
Well, at the moment, we are on the top level of my parents' house down south in the Shire. So it sounds like the national park. It's, you've got trees and there's beautiful wind. So you pick up on that and birds, you have your AM, sort of the birds
the AM
going.
birds.
And then you've got the possum screeching at night. So
It's wild.
yeah, it is wild, but it's beautiful. And, I think that's, again, one of those nostalgic elements of growing up down that way, just to be around nature.
Coming up, Richi shares what it's really like moving back home with your parents in your 30s. What's that like, moving back home in your 30s? Because lots of people do it and not many people talk about it.
I think, again, there's like not an element of defeat. I don't want to say that because my parents are the most beautiful human beings.
Yeah.
I think I'm very blessed to be in a home that's got the space for us and for us to have our own space. So I could so see how to be difficult for a lot of other people if it was like a 2-bedroom fibro home where you can't get away from each other and whatever it might be. It's our hard reset to figure out what the next 40 years are.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any shame in it. Anyone that lives in Sydney will know what I'm talking about.
It's expensive.
But I feel like it was more of because we shut the business, I just wanted still financial stability. Like I didn't want to be
Yes.
like just paying rent for rent's sake and things like that.
Yeah.
We're not taking advantage, but you want to make the most of what's at your fingertips. And if that's it,
Absolutely.
why not? Like I feel like it's a smart move
Yeah.
for the longevity of things, so we can do a hard reset,
Yeah.
whether it be travel more for work or whatever it might be. We have babysitters for the dogs.
That's
So-
true.
So things like that, there's an element of convenience, but also it's nice to spend time with my parents, where for the last
Definitely.
20 years, so heavy in my career,
Yeah.
I'm lucky if I saw my parents once every like 2-3 months, and they were only an hour south.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how hard it is for people when they do live abroad or things like that to still have connection
Absolutely.
with family.
What's that like, intergenerational living? And like you said, being half Italian, mealtimes. Do you have to have them all together all the time? Or is there the respect that sometimes you're just going to go upstairs and do your own thing?
No, look, there's a huge amount of respect, but I think also we're respectful of being in someone else's home. So you want
Yeah.
to spend time with them. And if that's just sharing a meal, I feel like that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I've cooked the last 2 nights at home. So I again, love language in reverse.
Yeah.
Where I know it probably kills my dad because he's the feeder. He loves to cook. It's his love language. I think sometimes it's difficult to hand the reins over, but then it's like
Yeah.
you cook now, like a back and forth. And again, it's like having a private chef. So I'm living the dream.
What about in terms of keeping things tidy? Are you a tidy person, or are you a hoarder? Do you shove things away, or is everything perfectly organized?
I would be lying if I said I was a tidy, organized person. I don't like dirt. Like
Yeah.
I'm definitely a clean person, but I'm also, we can just put it back tomorrow. Like I'm not going to like,
Yeah.
it's like if you put it back now or later, does it really matter? So and like, the jacket comes off when you get home and things like that.
Exactly, yes.
So sometimes things will sit there, like half the wardrobe, like the pile, everyone has the pile.
I've got a pile.
It goes when people come over, but you've usually got your go-tos where you think, oh, jacket back on, like it's winter. So,
Yeah.
but it's definitely, Michele is the tidy one. He's the cleaner, I'm the cook. You know how everyone needs that balance sort of thing? So in the
Yeah.
kitchen, I've gotten better at cleaning as I go, but it's definitely nice to have someone you hear the dishwasher being unstacked and stacked, and you think, thank God. I can just focus on other stuff. But yeah.
Shoes on or off? Is there a cultural thing with Italians about shoes? I know in some families there are. So are you a shoes on or a shoes off
I mean,
household?
I'm a shoes off person. I feel like you're in your home.
Yeah.
Like if you're walking outside, shoes on, like,
Yeah.
but also it's not
We're not heathens.
dirty as such. I mean, we've got dogs and they sleep inside. You find out some people let their
Yeah.
pets sleep outside. I'm like, oh no, they're part of the family.
Exactly.
Like,
What do you wash your clothes in? What's your detergent?
Biozet.
Biozet.
Yeah. I have very sensitive skin, and it's the one that doesn't make my skin react. So low fragrance. Yeah.
What else do you use in the home? What do you wash your dishes with?
Oh God. That's Michele's department.
Okay, I'll ask him. What about in the kitchen? Being a baker, do you have preferred brands in terms of sugar, flour?
Oh, look. I'm not going to say no to home brand, but, I'm a CSR boy. No, look, I was having this conversation with someone the other day, how Uncle Toby's oats must be like so happy that they're in a red box and in the middle of the aisle. Like it's where it's an oat.
Yes.
Like, they're going to come for me after this. It's the same product in a different box, but it's almost like you always have your love brands,
That's so true.
So I feel like it's one of those things where you just know that it's the right brown sugar to do the cake that you're baking. So why would you switch from that?
What about coffee or tea?
Oof, coffee, 100%. I enjoy tea. I love a herbal tea,
Yeah.
especially this
like?
time of year. I'm a peppermint boy. Yeah, I love a peppermint tea, or else like one of those blends that you get from T2, like tummy tea or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I do like a little
A novelty
pre-made,
tea?
Yeah, novelty tea, but nothing too freaky. I do like an Earl Grey.
Yeah.
Chamomile reminds me of my nonna, so it reminds me of like growing up, and it was like, do you want a chamomile? And it's like, no. Like, of
Why
course
would I want
not.
that? I want a Coke.
But yeah, I'm peppermint tea, after dinner. It's a nice way to just unwind for the evening.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you do find your dream home, will you entertain there, or will this be a space just for you and Michele?
Oh, it will be entertaining. Not all the time, but I want to have like nice dinners and things like that. Like I do love when we lived in Camperdown, we had a beautiful house for entertaining, and when we did have, it was nice to, you'd make the roll of porchetta and the salads and things like that. Like we were so close to the fish markets, fresh prawns, oysters, all that. I do love a spread. I like to put on. Yeah. Like I've inherited the feeder gene, so it's something that is.
As your friend, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but it's so nice, and I think again, it's like that Italian culture of over catering for stuff. Like I want people to come and be like, "Wow, like this is so nice," because it's like your little badge of honor to be like, "I know how to feed people." I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's like it's true though. Like I think, when you go to someone's house and there's no dessert.
Oh, it blows my mind.
That can be my tagline for this whole thing. When you go to someone's house and there's no dessert with an emoji, like
it's
wrong.
What do you think that says about a person?
They're health conscious.
Oh, boring.
No, I don't know if it says anything about them, but like we talk 90% of the time about baked goods and where the best bakery is, or if we've tried anything new. Like I feel like that's whenever I know you're coming in for your hair appointment, after we've caught up with other life stuff, it's like, where have you been? What are you eating? Yeah. And is it baked?
That's so
I think
true.
especially around like 2021, we can't say the name COVID. When everyone was in lockdown, I feel like my JobKeeper payments kept every bakery in Sydney open, because that was my job, was to make sure they stay in business. And like, I don't think people quite understand the cultural significance of Flower and Stone in Woolloomooloo. It is my mecca. Like people go to Mecca George Street to get their foundation and fragrances. Yep. I'm going to Flower and Stone Woolloomooloo to feel better about myself. It makes me feel good. It tastes delicious. Yep. It's made with love. Nadine has done such a beautiful job with that place. There's the plug. But like, honestly, like if I'm having a bad week or month, or I've been traveling a lot for work, this comes back to what's one of my traditions. I'll tend to make sure I've got something from Flower and Stone waiting for me, because it's just, I don't know, like who doesn't love cake, right?
Who doesn't love cake? It feeds the soul.
Exactly.
So I'd love to round off with a question I ask everybody, and that is, in your opinion, what makes a home beautiful?
What makes a home beautiful? I think it needs to have a personal touch. Yeah. I think without a personal touch, like, when you walk into people's homes and the carbon copies of each other, like they've seen a rug that they liked at someone else's house. I think that personal touch, I like it when things aren't too perfect and you feel like you're really welcome there. I think that's a really big part of it, where I've never been to someone's house and like, oh, don't sit there. It's like, you're in a home. You want to live there.
It all comes back to soul.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Ricky, you have a beautiful soul, and I'm so glad that you're able to come over today.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
So let's think about which bakery we'll go to next.
Done. Yeah, we'll come up with a few.
It was so lovely chatting with Ricky outside the salon. I have to say, without the buzz of a hairdryer, we were able to go deeper on baking and why it's not just about satisfying a craving. For Ricky, it's about feeding the soul. I find it so impressive that even while Ricky's juggling what I can only describe as a portfolio career, he still maintains a real sense of calm and control. After so long in this industry, he is crystal clear on what's really important to him. Thanks for listening to The Edit. If you enjoyed this episode, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a review wherever you're listening to your podcasts. It helps other people to find us and share our beautiful community. I'm Elle Lovelock. See you next time.
This is an R Media podcast.